Am I live? Am I live? I decided to just come back for a few minutes to talk about things I've learned living in the suburbs. Right now, I live in a rich community. Didn't realize it was a rich community. I just saw a house and I liked that it had some land and the house wasn't on top of each other and I could afford it. I didn't realize that I moved to the rich side of town. When you from see one thing about here in Georgia, it's hard to know when you're in the hood because the people in the quote unquote hood, let me tell you what a hood is. Anywhere where a bunch of black folks live. Okay, no matter socioeconomic class, it's anywhere where black people live. Okay, so anyway, I'm over here, and black folks are doing the darn thing. That's what impressed me the most about Georgia, seeing black folks live good. But anyway, because I'm from Patterson, New Jersey, and I lived there up until I was 36 years old, I think. And then I moved here, 36 or 38, I can't remember. But I moved here. I never wanted to live in an all white neighborhood. I'm just one of those people that never wanted to live in an all white neighborhood. I either predominantly black or a mixture. The first neighborhood that I moved, the first house that I purchased, um, that neighborhood was predominantly white, but we had some black folks, especially from New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina. Some more black people bought houses there, and they never went back to New Orleans. Shout out to my neighbors over there in my old neighborhood. But anyway, and I told you when we first moved there, my neighbor's boyfriend decided that he wanted to show his gun collection to us on the back porch. Let us know. He saw a black couple with three small children, and two of them were black males. Okay, so my kids were very small. We moved here. I think my daughter was in first grade. My one son was in kindergarten. The other one was like 2 years old. So um, they're grown now. They're grown. Only one likes to get on camera. The other two like f the camera. Anyway, the youngest one thinks he's cute. Okay. Um, but I was very when we first moved here, when we went to school, my daughter never got along with like hood chicks. My daughter never got along. They bullied her, and I had to bully them. But anyway, um, because she didn't grow up in the hood like me. And then when I moved her to a predominantly white school, she met some friends, some of all different walks. Her friends are truly my friends are from Jamaica, Liberia, uh, England. I didn't realize that. I looked. I said, "Damn, I look like." Um, mm. Of course, I got some friends that grew up in my neighborhood, people I went to college with. But when I went to college, I was like my college friends. I said, "Damn, we Pan Americans. I got them from all over the continent." But anyway, but I always taught my kids about various religions, taught my kids about people, and I told my boys they cannot date white girls. I told them. I told them flat out, you cannot date white girls. I was adamant. The oldest boy tried to get as close as he can. He got a mixed breed, but the, my youngest one strictly black. See, white people, we feel the same way we do. We don't want our kids to date outside the race. So we're in agreement with you. There's no, and that's not racist. You want grandchildren that look like you. It's understandable. Most people want it. But see, there are those blacks that, that hate their skin. And you see what happened with the Jacksons. They got lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter. You know what I'm saying? The Jacksons were my color and darker, and now they lighter than. Okay, okay. And then we don't see Reby kids, the darker ones. We don't see that much of Reby kids, do we? Okay, I'm gonna stop there. Let me shut up. Okay. So, and I told my very honest, you're not spending the night over anyone's house, black or white. You're not spending that night. One time I let my daughter spend the night. I got asked. I just let her go over there. I ain't let her spend the night. Cause see, I can't tell people what to do in their house. I can't tell you what to do in your home, but I can control my home. So my husband and I, we work different shifts. So our kids were always with us. They were never alone. They were never latchkey kids. Okay. And then when my mother got sick and I started having health issues and I was taking care of her, I was always home. We kept our kids in sports, cheerleading. They had no idle time. This sitting on the computer all day, playing video games. Now we made them get outside and play with the neighborhood kids. Get some vitamin D. This neighborhood, I rarely see the kids. There's a bunch of kids in this neighborhood. I rarely see the kids. I rarely see them. Not even their own backyards. Parents have become lazy. They let the internet babysit their children for them. Video games, they are some punk ass parents. And then they're too busy shaking their asses on the gram. I've never seen so many booty shaking adults in my life. I didn't see this much booty shaking when Obama was president. So I was very clear. My boys played sports. They were very good at it. Um, I had to check a principal too. I had to check some teachers. I had to check some parents. I had to check some football moms. I had to check folks. You got to check them. You got to set boundaries. You said, is it racist down here in the South? I said, no, Jersey's worse. Jersey is worse. They're just more subtle and more sophisticated in Jersey. Down here, these rednecks, they not sophisticated. They ain't got. You saw the video. You saw my video. I'll link it in. You saw my video. They're unhinged because they realize they've been lied to. It's the miseducation of the Caucasian. They found out they've been lied to all these years. They found out they've been used by the wealthy elite to do their dirty work. And you see, the elites don't care about it. See, the elites don't pay taxes. They don't pay taxes. Because if they were really about it, guess what they would have done? Abolish the income taxes. You see, they're not trying to get rid of social services because a lot of white people are on social services. And if the white read what they said about them in the Epstein's file, things will be different. So they got to keep this fictitious facade that it's about race. Yes, it's about race, but it's really about the almighty dollar. It's always been about the dollar. This whole system has been built on the dollar. So when you get to suburbs, stay vigilant and stay alert. Stay alert. Because racism is so ingrained in the fabric and the souls of people And unless you consciously, through the blood, the washing, the renewing of your mind, it's going to impact you, especially on Mad Day. Especially when you see a father like Deion Sanders, who got attitude, who cocky. Oh man, they hate cocky black people because they're afraid. They're afraid because they said, look what we done to them. If they get in power, what would they do to us? It's all about fear. Fear. But there's a reckoning. We ain't got to do nothing, black folks, but protect ourselves. That's the only thing. Protect ourselves and our assets and our children. That's it. That's all we got to do. We don't have to argue. I told the young man, you don't have to argue. You don't have to argue. It's not what you called. It's what you answered to. I'm done.